Way back during the Clinton administration, during the mid-90s, I went on a fishing trip up in Lake Mary, Mississippi. That's down for most of y'all, but it's up from where I was living, you know. And on that fishing trip, there was a fella at the camp that was cooking on a plow disc he had made. He had welded the axle hole shut and put some handles on it. And we cooked some sirloin steaks that first night at camp, and then we had fish, and he was frying fish in the same thing. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. He had made it himself. And for the longest time, decade or so, I thought that was the only one that existed in the world. But then I come to find out somewhere 15 years ago or something, that, hey, a lot of people cook on these things. I've been fascinated with them for a while, but the past few months I've been very fascinated with it. Started looking online for some. Looked at very different ones, okay? And come to realize that the fella at Southwest Disc probably makes the best ones out there. And he seasons them. You don't have to season them. You got to season them yourself a little bit, but they come pre-seasoned, ready to use. And as you cook on them, they're going to get even more seasoned. Only one that's ready to cook on that I could find. And I think his welding is excellent and everything. So I contacted him. He didn't have the handles in that I wanted. He said, hey, we have some that are similar, and I like those even better. He said he'd put them on. He gave me a little discount because he didn't have the handles I was looking for, and shipped it from New Mexico, across Texas, and here to Louisiana, and I really like it. Made some fajitas on it too. And so that came from Southwest Disc. Fella could not have been a nicer guy. Thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue. Here's how I made fajitas. Let's get this rocking and rolling right there. Oh, it's gonna be nice, y'all. All right, it's been heating a few minutes now. I would do this if it hadn't been pre-seasoned. If it has been seasoned as well as anything, I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in there. All right, that's some lard I made. What is that speck on there? Get that off of there. I did wipe this clean now. Get that lard going. All around here, and I'm just kind of smeared all over everything, all right? Even though it's been pre-seasoned, I would do this if it was the first time I cooked on a cast iron. I mean, if it was I cooked on a cast iron skillet, I'd cooked on them many times. Just want to get some of that lard all over everything. And once that meat starts to render, I'm gonna take some of that grease and I'm gonna smear it along the sides. Get that well seasoned up. But this cooking surface is certainly well seasoned. All right, I got everything over here by a table next to me. I got these half dozen pieces of skirt steak. They'll go just like that. Listen to that sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. I had two skirt steaks. An inside one and an outside one, I think. Two came in a package. One seemed to be tougher. I don't remember which one's supposed to be tougher, the inside one or the outside one. But anyway, what I did was I trimmed off the fat, pulled off as much of the membrane as I can, and seasoned them down with some Worcestershire sauce and some store-bought fajita seasoning. Sometimes I make my own fajita seasoning. Sometimes I buy it at the store. I like that brand. You can use whatever brand you want. I like other brands too, but that's what I like, and that's easy for me to find around here. It's a Texas brand, I think. Pretty good too. So. All right, so we're just gonna let these sizzle and griddle. Remember, it's gonna be a little cooler around the outside than on the inside. All right, now remember, this is the first time I've cooked on this. Not the first time I've made fajitas, but it's the first time I've cooked on this Discada. And it's not the first time I've used this propane cooker, but certainly the first time I've used it with this disc. So I may need to take some practice to get used to the heat levels and stuff and how it is around the outside and stuff. But anyway, this is pretty much how I make fajitas, whether I'm making it al carbone, which is on a grill. So right before I flip it, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a little bit more of this fajita seasoning, because you can't have too much. Now, skirt steak is often served well done, but you can get it medium rare. If I'm eating medium rare fajitas, I'd prefer to use a flat iron steak than a skirt steak, because it can be a little tough. And one of them, the inside or the outside one's a little more tender than the other. But skirt steak's kind of weird, you know. Now that I flipped it, I'm gonna hit it with a little bit more fajita seasoning. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag these out to the outside edge. They'll continue to cook because it is hot out here, just not as hot as it is in the inside, all right? Just gonna put these out here on the outside edge of this Discada. Throw in a little more lard. Get on off of that. Get on off of that. Some manteca. Necesito más manteca. Come on. I got 2 more jars of this, but this jar is running out. All right. Scrape all that fond off the bottom there. And we're gonna dump in the peppers. This is 2 yellow onions and a red and yellow bell pepper. And we're gonna get that sizzling up. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. Scratch the screen right now as I put some more of this fajita seasoning on these peppers and onions, all right? Scratch your screen because they got that scratch and sniff YouTube now, all right? Scratch it, go on up. You watch it on TV, walk on up, scratch it. You can smell it. Works, don't it? I'm sarcastic, aren't I? The cool thing about these Cowboy Woks, these Discadas, as they're called often in English, disco in Spanish, is that they're deep enough that you can use them like a wok, but they're shallow enough that you can use them almost like a flat top griddle. And I'm gonna look forward to using one. I've wanted one a long time. Like when I saw that fella fry that fish up there at Lake Marion one, way back in the early 90s. And he also griddled steaks in it too. And I thought it was cool, but I thought that was the only one in the world because he made it himself. He had welding skills. I don't. Southwest Disc does, and they've made a good one. So I'm glad that I bought it. I really, really am. I'm gonna keep griddling these up now. As I turn them over, the sizzling's kind of stopped, but we're gonna get these things, you know how fajitas are made, you know, basically a taco with steak and onions and peppers, and soft taco. All right, these peppers and onions are about where I want them to be. You don't want them fully cooked yet, but almost cooked, because what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pick up these steak pieces and put them right there on top, even the little bits that fall off. Now when I cut them, I'm gonna put the peppers on the cutting board and I'm gonna cut these steak pieces against the grain. That's why I cut them into thirds. But what I gotta do right now, well, you know what I gotta do right now. Well, sometimes I make my own flour tortillas and I like it, but sometimes I make pretty good flour tortillas. Other times I make pretty awful flour tortillas. Not taking any chances tonight. These are store-bought ones. So they're not gonna be as good as the really good homemade ones, and they're not gonna be as bad as the really bad homemade ones. All right? And they're easy. So get these tortillas warming up right here. Look at that. Fit half a dozen on them on there. Heck, I can fit 7. Let's go. 7 right here. Y'all, I am happy as can get. Look at that. It says 10, 10 count. 10 count. I got 7 right here. Guess what? I still got 4 more in the pack, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 more in the pack. I got an extra one. Guess that's called a baker's 10, huh? All right, so I'm flipping the tortillas over. Now, I know what some of y'all are saying. You're saying, why is that gringo putting his tortillas in a cast iron pan? Porque yo no tengo una tortillera para guardar mis tortillas. I don't have one of those tortilla holder things that keep them warm. That's called a tortillera, all right? That's why. There we go, baby. Some of them got some fajita grease on them. That's okay. They're gonna have fajita grease on them when we use them too. All right? I got a lid over there. But yeah, I use cast iron pan as my tortillera. Got 4 more to go here. I'll be ready to pull all that out of here. Should only have 3, but I got lucky and got 4. How about that? I don't think I've ever had a bag that said 10 and I only got and I got 11. Might have had something short me before, but not bless me, you know? All right, pulling the last tortilla off. Time to get that stuff out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the gas. That's some thick metal there, and it will stay hot for quite some time. Go ahead and pull all this out of here, put it in this pan. Now, as I'm getting this out of here, I'm not gonna do a taste test. It's fajitas. I'm gonna serve them up with some crema mexicana, crema agria, you know, sour cream, Mexican style sour cream, and some salsa picante. I got some extra hot Texas Pete in there. I got a lot of Louisiana hot sauces, but I've also got some picante sauce and many Mexican style hot sauces, such as Cholula, Valiente, or whatever. And I'm gonna use my style. I also got some avocados I cut up earlier. All right. And remember, I'm gonna cut these across the grain. All right. Anyway, I want to say thank you for watching Big Lou Barbecue, and I want to say thank you to David at Southwest Disc, because I think he makes one of the best Discadas on the market. I did a lot of research, and this is the one I wanted to go with, y'all. Now look here, I just scraped this out. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Just scrape it off the top. All right, you get it out. There we go. Gracias por mirar.